Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you all welcome. I just wanted to make this video really quick to kind of ask a question, and that is to see what you guys would like to see as a replacement. Once I finish Gothic, I don't really have anything else going on. I was kind of banking on the hope that some of the mods I was looking forward to for Gothic 2 would be out shortly after I finished my Gothic walkthrough, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I would like to apologize now for if my voice sounds a little bit off. I am pretty sick, and depending on how this interrupts my commentary when doing any kind of videos, it might postpone some of my videos a while longer, but if I can soldier through it, I will. Anyway, I want to take a quick look through my current Steam library, see if anything pops out at you guys. I've done this kind of thing before, kind of opening it up to a vote. I've gotten a couple suggestions thus far already from a few people who want to see certain things, but I just want to see what the sort of popular opinion is. So I'm going to kind of scroll through these and pop out the ones that I would be most interested in. No. I don't know what this is, really. I think this is some kind of like multiplayer game, like free to play, and I installed it and haven't touched it since. I'd like to thank my friend Nuku for actually giving me the code to this game, but I don't really know much about it. Anything I don't really know about is most likely to be done as a live stream as opposed to a actual YouTube series, which I might end up uploading to YouTube anyway, but I don't know if these two games are related in any way. They kind of look similar, but I don't know much about either of them. Banner Saga, I tried doing that as a live stream, didn't really get too far. Bard's Tale I would love to play, to be honest. One of my favorite games from when I was younger in the PS2 era. Betrayer. Beyond Good and Evil was fun, but I'm not really too interested in that. Blade of Darkness is not really... I got this on Good Old Games, which unfortunately it's not really available there anymore. Not really sure this is a good YouTube series. It would probably be better as like a straightforward walkthrough, but I don't know enough about the game to actually do that kind of thing. This is an early access game that I'd actually done. I had a couple years ago, I was approached by the developer themselves to do a video on the demo, which I obliged them. And I ended up buying the early access on sale, which normally I don't do early access, but I had enough faith in this game, and for some reason just have not really got around to playing it too much. Already did Brothers. I don't... Oh, no, I got this on a Humble Bundle. I don't think I really care about that game, to be honest. None of this. Crisis 2, I don't even think my computer could run that, so that's not really an option. Dark Messiah. I have been asked to play this before by some other people. I played it for a couple hours, and it does seem fun, but again, I don't really like doing things on YouTube anymore that I'm not that, like, intimately familiar with. Geez, I've done Dark Souls to death by now, I think. There were a couple mods I wanted to try for it, but I don't think anyone was really that interested in it. I don't know if I could play this game, to be honest. It's always been kind of weird. This game got a very polarized reception when it came out, and I know the PC version... I mean, all the versions had serious technical issues, but the PC version, I think, was worse than any of them. And I think it's been modded to work a lot better now, but I haven't even tried it. Already done Deus Ex. I'm not going to do Invisible War. Divinities, I've been asked to do those before by a couple people as well. I don't really know much about those either. I'm already doing Dragon Age. Dungeon Siege, I bought these all in a bundle. I played these games a while ago, years ago, and they're just kind of straightforward adventure games, adventure RPGs. Not really too much to say about those, but I'll get those. I'll probably end up doing those as like a live stream thing, or when I don't have anything better to do. Dust is a side-scrolling adventure. That's all I really know about it. I don't really care about any of the Elder Scrolls, except I've always kind of wanted to do the what do you call it? The Never mod, which it was one of the, well, it was probably the single biggest mod for Oblivion, and it's the only thing that really got me to care about the game long after this game came out. Of course, I was on the hype bandwagon back in the day, but after a couple years, I just kind of realized, like, Oblivion really is not that great. But the Nehru mod actually kind of impressed me, and it is getting a sequel in the form of a Skyrim mod called Enderall, and that's the only thing that kind of intrigued me about it, and kind of put it in my mind that I might do the Nehru mod again, but I'm not sure anyone would actually really care about it. Don't know what this game is, but kind of bought it on a whim. The Fear games, I only got Fear and Fear 2 and the expansions. Obviously a big draw to these games was the fact that they were scary, but I'm not really scared of the games anymore, because I've already played them a few times. Fallout New Vegas? Maybe. I don't even remember getting this. I think I got it for about $2. Well, there's Gothic games, not doing those again. At least not until some mods come out. Gone Home, that's some like indie kind of like, I don't know. You walk around the house, that's all I really know about it. San Andreas, I would actually love to play. This was probably my single favorite game from the PlayStation 2 era, to be honest. Pardon me a minute. Half-Life 2, Half-Life, other stuff I don't really care about. I do need to finish Blood Money, and I do intend to, believe it or not. I'm not really sure why I never got around to finishing it. Just kind of got interrupted by other things. Jade Empire, yeah, I played this for a short time. I think the only reason I stopped playing was because I realized I never saved the whole time and I ended up dying. LA Noire had opened that to a vote before, and it did get like comparable votes to some of the other things, but I never ended up doing it just because the PC port runs like shit, especially on my computer. Marlowe Briggs. This is just some kind of like action-heavy fighter brawler kind of thing, and it kind of popped up out of nowhere, and just it looked very entertaining based on some of the videos I've seen. Just really goofy, but I don't really know anything else about it. Max Payne, I've always kind of wanted to do these two. I really enjoyed these games back in the day, but I'm not really sure what you guys think of it. Metro 2033, I would actually love to play, but again, this game just doesn't run too well on my computer. Could do Monkey Island 2. I did play this for a short time, and I've had a lot of people who wanted me to do it, and kind of polarized opinions on whether or not I should do the game, like play through the game before doing a playthrough of it, or if I should go at it blind the way I did with the first Monkey Island. And that's kind of why I've held off on it for so long. I just was never really sure how people wanted me to do it, because I felt like the first playthrough I did for it, which to be honest got a kind of a quiet, it was like a sleeper hit, I suppose. Let me just look at it really quick. So yeah, I mean, this one got like 1,500 views over about 2 years, I guess. Not huge, but still better than a lot of the other things I've done. So, a lot of people seem to like that after I'd done it. Not so much while I was doing it. Don't know anything about this game. I think it's one of those kind of like mysterious adventure games that I just picked up for like a song on some kind of sale. Mountain Blade, those games kind of take a while to get into. Not really sure I can make the walkthroughs that interesting. Got a lot of these like really obscure adventure games that I picked up on a weird bundle once. One Way Heroics, I don't really remember what that's all about. Tried to do Psychonauts once, didn't really work. Kind of regret not making that work better. Red Faction. Return to Castle Wolfenstein would be an interesting diversion. This game actually scared the shit out of me back in the day, if you can believe it. When I was, I don't know, like 12 or 13, playing this. No, thank you. Rhythm Games, Rome. In hindsight, a lot of people have asked me to like finish the Stalker games. I've always wanted to finish Lost Alpha. I don't know why. I've just always kind of neglected that. But Lost Alpha, I did do like 13 live streams of that, or like 13 hours worth, and then it got patched, and when I installed the patch I had to start over, and that's why I never really got around to finishing it, or really continuing with it. I should just finish on my own, but I know the sort of director's cut is supposed to be coming out maybe sometime this year, which is kind of why I've held off, and I don't really know why that made me inclined to stop playing it. Sacred Games, got these on a Deep Silver Humble Bundle, I think. The only reason I care about Sacred 2, to be honest, is that Blind Guardian is in it. Gee, I don't really remember what this game is. I think it's one of those, like, Don't Starve kind of weird little games. Sleeping Dogs, I did want to do this, but for some reason, the more I played it, the worse it seemed to perform on my computer. So, I'm not really sure that's an option. I don't even remember how I got Sniper Elite. Don't really care about it. Night of the Old Republic, one of those I think people would like to see me do, but I'm not doing 2 BioWare games at once, I can promise you that. The Thief games I never finished just because I screwed up my install of the first game and lost all my saves. But people weren't really too into it at the time. Mostly just because of the way I handled the walkthrough. I should have been a little more committed to editing it, since I did a lot of blind sort of meandering in it. Torchlight wouldn't be that interesting. Two Worlds. I know the first one was not as well received as the second one, but the second one I think a lot of people were pissed off at because it had extremely intrusive DRM, and so a lot of people refused to play it, and I know that DRM has never been removed, and I know that the first game was fairly mediocre by comparison, so I'm not really sure I want to play that one either. I don't even remember how much I paid for that. Dawn of War. I remember trying to do Dawn of War 2 once. That was a bit strange. A lot of people now that Witcher 3 is coming out have been asking me to do the first Witcher, since I did The Witcher 2, and I felt like that went reasonably well, apart from all the rage montages I had to make. The first Witcher I've played once, and I would like to play it again, and since Witcher 3 is coming out, and I'm not going to be able to play that, unfortunately, because my computer sucks, that might be on the table if enough of you are interested in it. XCOM, I've been kind of playing that on my own. It's been fun, but I'm not really sure I could do a series out of it. The East games, I've been doing those as live streams. I'm not really going to do those as YouTube things. And that's about it for now. That's all I've got in my current library. But if you guys have reasonable recommendations for things on my wish list, I've got a lot of things on my wish list. And if it's reasonably affordable for me right now, I could consider putting some money down on it. Now, the way I've got this set up is in no particular order, just because, I mean, I've got like almost 100 items on here. So, just because something's on the top slot doesn't mean that that's necessarily what I want the most. So, let's just take a scroll. If I were to get Rune, I'd probably get on Good Old Games, because I kind of want to support that site a little bit more. I don't even know what the hell Whispering Willows is. Sanitarium is one of those old, like, point-and-click adventure games, supposed to be kind of like a really scary atmosphere to it. It's supposed to be, obviously, in a sanitarium or a mental asylum that kind of goes apeshit and that kind of thing. I'm not really seeing a whole lot that I actually care about, to be honest. I don't know why I added so much of this stuff. This is one I actually really do want to play. I'm not huge on JRPGs, but this one's supposed to be pretty exemplary, and I think is a good sort of intro for people who aren't too familiar with JRPGs. Could be fun, but again, since I don't know anything about it, probably wouldn't be good YouTube material. Among the Sleep is a horror game. That's about all I know about it. You're a baby and you have a teddy bear, and that's about all I know. I actually almost bought this, Agarest Generations of War 2, but then I looked at some of the screenshots. Let's see, like that. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm not really too concerned about it anymore. Let's see. Stranger's Wrath. One of those games I always kind of regretted missing out on back when it came out. Any of the Oddworld games, really, I knew were a big deal. I just never had the chance to actually play any of them. Darkest Dungeon, another early access game that was pretty freaking trendy for a little while. I haven't heard much about it since, but once it goes into full release, I'm sure it'll be very hype again. I'm not really sure what stage of development it is in right now, but for the most part, it seems like people are saying it is certainly worth $20 in the state it's in, which is the only way I would ever buy an early access game, is if the current form is worth what it's currently asking for. There are also, excuse me, a few games on Good Old Games that I have that might be open for consideration. Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. No, it was the first of two games that Activision had published with the World of Darkness license. This one always kind of interested me. I did play it when I was a lot younger, but that was basically during the hype period for Bloodlines, and I never was able to finish it just because it was kind of like too hard for me. I was too young to really figure out how I was supposed to play the game. So, but I've always kind of wanted to come back to it and never really got around to it. There are the Soul Reaver games, which I would be very interested in playing. Oh yeah, Blade of Darkness. I already mentioned that one. Anachronox is another one that was kind of a big deal back in the day. And, I don't really know anything about it, but it is a very big, I think like a cyberpunk or something kind of like that. I don't really remember. Planescape Torment is a big, was a big deal, like a kind of a isometric RPG back in the day. A lot of people loved it. Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, all these D&D games that I've purchased and never really played since. Baldur's Gate, of course, is the classic, the single most classic Dungeons and Dragons RPG, but another one of those I never quite figured out. And again, it was because I was too young at the time, and I think I had my introduction to Baldur's Gate were the Dark Alliance games, which I loved as a kid, but of course those were more just action RPGs, and these are altogether very different, and I just never ended up playing it. Since I do own it, I did play it for maybe an hour or so. For some reason, just never continued. Anyway, yeah, so that's about all I got in here. Clive Barker's Undying. Don't even remember what this is supposed to be, but it was kind of a big deal. But yeah, that's about all I got on here that I really care about. So, if anything pops out at you guys on here, let me know. Otherwise, on Steam, let me know. Alright, so that's... Oh, goodness. Apologize. As I said, I am pretty sick, and that is getting in the way. So, yeah, that's the gist of it. I don't really have anything more to offer. And if any of those interest you, just do let me know. And, you know, we'll kind of open it to a vote again. And anything that goes in the comments, I will add to a sort of a poll to see what the popular consensus is. Anyway, thank you all for your time here. Once again, this ran a little longer than I meant it to, and we'll see you all in the near future.